back with a win. I just got a text from my brother on the way up, who is a big Cal women's basketball fan, and he said, "You're able to get some punishment running in and a win, so that always works." But I do, we talked a lot last night. You all go home and get ready for the game the next day, and we live this and breathe it, and we look at the same group every day. And I'm really proud of them for taking a tough loss, dealing with it, resolving to be better, and then coming out and playing their tails off today. I mean, it's one game, but I thought we showed some toughness, thought we showed a lot of heart. We talked about wanting to shoot a high percentage. Obviously, we did that. Christine was ridiculous, in her finishing, but just really also proud of Kayla and Gabby and Courtney and AT and the rest of them who were so unselfish. We just got the ball where it needed to go. We gave up too many points, and we turned it over too much. But I was more looking at how was our team going to respond emotionally and just mentally, and I think we passed that test. So looking forward to the next week where they study for finals and study for basketball, and we'll get back to it. And this team is about growth because they're so young, and I just want to keep, going forward with them.
Were you at all surprised by the sheer amount of threes that Sacramento State took? It took 79. Did that surprise you? I knew they were I think what shooting team, but they seem to take that to another level.
Right. I mean, we played them last year and watching them on film, and then we had, they played a bunch of Pac-12 schools last year, so I was familiar with their style. Then when you look at the stats, like the CUME stats that you follow when you're preparing for a team, it still is eye-popping that they're averaging 53s a game. And then I looked at the half, and they took 41 in the first half, and I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, just you're seeing it, but it is crazy when you look at the stat sheet. Bunky did say to me before the game, I said something about the contrast in styles between Villanova and Sac State, and he's like, yeah, we're not shooting enough threes. They're not letting them fly. And I was like, to these guys, they're going to let them fly today. So I kind of knew it was coming, but still you look at the 79, and it's just staggering.
This is the second time this season that you've had to bounce back within 24 hours from a loss. But as opposed to Liberty, this time it seems like everyone was locked in. You guys were kind of relentless offensively. What were the differences between coming back from Texas A&M and coming back from?
I mean, I think we're growing. We're so, I know I keep saying it, but we're so young. So we're really conscious as coaches of looking at them and saying, this is what we need from you, and we got to get you to do this. And they are. I think they've always been with us, but I think they're learning to lock in a little bit better. And we also challenged them, last night in a lot of different ways. And I think they really understood what the game plan was going to be against Sac State. It fed into our personnel, and then I think we did a really good job of getting the ball where it needed to go. But I would say overall that we're growing up a little bit, and I told them again in the locker room, we should be the team that improves the most from now till the start of conference play in our conference because we have the most room for growth. So it's an exciting thing.
Kayla and Christine, when coaches said that they challenged you guys last night in many different ways, what ways did you feel personally challenged by that?
Well, just from the game itself, I think that after we lost, I just went in myself personally, just what could I have done better? What could I have done better to give to the team personally, and just together? It's just she hit a lot of points about we need to do this, and we responded. I mean, it's just all about taking what she has to say, her messages, and internalizing it, and then talking about it with each other, and not just the coaches, it's our team, and trying to move forward in a positive way. But I mean, that's just.
Christine's was her defense. I can answer that one for her.
Yeah, I just talked to Coach G after the game about playing better defense and getting in the gym and just guarding other people and being in the field, the fast-paced defense at a different level. And then I talked to my teammates, and we just talked about how we get closer as a team. We kind of just we slept we listened to music, and we just talked about how we're going to get closer and how we're going to play better, because it's about the next game and about our next challenge together.
When you think of a men's game, two players staring each other down before a double technical.
Did you hear me say that to the official? Actually, did someone overhear me? Because actually, I had a really good conversation with the official. She was great in communicating. But she said there was a held ball and some extra, and that then they kept going a little too far. I did say I didn't think it warranted a double technical. I thought that was quick. I was probably more emotional about it because it was Kayla's fourth foul, like seconds after she got the third. But I thought it was a quick whistle on that, and I don't know about men's, but I think sometimes, in women's basketball, we're a little too quick to let some aggression go, and nothing bad, nothing showing each other up, but they're both playing basketball, like, let's go. Good question.
They seem to really be focused on like attacking the offensive boards. What did you guys do to like stop that, and like did that make it easier for you guys on offense when you did get the rebounds? Because like everyone was.
So I don't know how well we did at stopping it, considering they gave up 29.
Yeah.
But they took, I think my stat sheet doesn't even say it because it says 11, but I think it's 110 shots. So there's more opportunities to rebound, and they took a lot of long threes. That's what was hard for us. Like we, like Christine and Nina and the big guys, they're used to boxing somebody out who's right by the basket. So when shots are coming from 35 feet and balls are flying around, it's a little bit different. So we had to adjust to that. I thought we were better in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. I think why we got looks on the other end is because they play this, trapping, aggressive pressure that they want to make you turn it over in the front court. I thought, whenever we could break the pressure in the backcourt, Gabby, AT, Kayla, whoever was involved in that, we had a finisher at the other end that was just unstoppable. So it was more about their style of defense than about their crashing the boards that got us looks on the other end. We just had to handle the pressure, and we knew we'd get open looks.
Lindsay, we've seen a lot of upsets the last couple of days. Tennessee lost today.
Did they? Yes, that was a close game.
Yeah, Montana State is giving Gonzaga a game right now. Do you think that parity is just exploding in the women's game?
I do. I had said that last year, and I think it's sometimes a muted argument when UConn's beating everyone by 40. Like, I get it. The general sports fan population sees UConn more than they see anybody else. But these days, if you turn on the Pac-12 network, or you turn on the Big Ten network, or you turn on the SEC network, there are really good games within leagues every night, and there are more non-conference sort of mid-major BCS or just different teams in good games. UConn is still an anomaly in that they are so good. I know they did a pretty good game with Notre Dame yesterday, but if you look at 2 through 32, it's much, much closer. And I think it even said if you look at like 25 through 40, it's closer. That's a good thing for our sport.
Michaela, did you know that you're on the verge of a triple double in those last 3 minutes?
I heard something in the air, but yeah, I tried to get in there. Casey was taking my rebounds, but I mean, I don't.
I'm really proud of her 10 assists and 2 turnovers. I mean, she just is such an unselfish player, sometimes to a fault, and we're like, shoot that thing. But today she did what she needed to do and got the ball to, mainly to Christine, but Courtney. I mean, our shooting percentages were great. I thought we did a really good job finishing after we had such a hard time yesterday. That's what was the difference in the game. So I thought they really bounced back a little bit.
Is Courtney okay?
Yeah, I mean, she rolled her ankle. It's a good thing that we have a week before the next game. I think she'll be fine, but she couldn't go back in, and we'll get her treatment and stuff and get her ready to go.
Maybe Christine, for you, 43 points. That's the most points that any player scored so far this season in your team. What does that mean for you personally and for your team?
I'm excited, and I'm just proud of my teammates, because without my teammates, I wouldn't have gotten the 43 points, because I'm not going to take it coast to coast.
Not yet, Lady Miss.
I'm just really just grateful that I have such unselfish teammates, and they believe in me so much to keep giving me the ball even if I miss. And I started off slow too, and they're just trying to get me going and just being really positive. And Kayla especially, when she I always feel like I have to make her, if she passes me the ball, I have to make it, because it's real. So I feel I'm just really happy.
Michaela, you're really good both in transition, running the basket from and also knocking down threes. Do you feel more comfortable in the transition, or is there a particular area of the game you feel more comfortable, or you feel like you can do?
I mean, it depends on the game. Obviously, any type of game, I'm ready to play. I'm comfortable in any style. I like to not have to be conditioned for those type of games, but either way, I'm comfortable in any style of game. So.
Do you guys notice, this is probably more a question for Lindsay, but the difference in the quarters conditioning-wise? Do you have to go longer stretches because you're not getting the media time out every 4 minutes?
It depends. Like I said, I I was not pleased at 8:43 of the first quarter with someone who shall remain nameless. And I was like, do I call it a timeout? Because if I called a timeout right then you don't get the media.
Right.
And I was like, against this team, I don't think you want to be going. I love the quarters. I'm a huge fan of the new women's basketball thing. I think it gives us a little more control of substitutions and end quarter situations, things like that. It depends on whether it gives you more rest or less. Because if you get the media at the right time, it can be good. But there are times at which it goes and goes and goes. But I think it's really fluid and it's great for fans, and I love it. I was watching a men's game yesterday where they were saying they need to go to they're behind the
Really
women
different.
and they need to go to the quarter system. So I like it.
Any other questions?
For the players, there's such a difference between how you finished, and that was a problem yesterday. Is it something you can carry from this game onto the next game, or is it such a different style that the other team played that it seemed more like a one-off kind of thing for you?
No, of course we can carry it to the next game. Like, finishing the basket is always so important. So we want to just keep emphasizing to get it in there, focusing on our shots and making tough shots, open shots. I mean, yesterday we had a couple looks and they just weren't falling. I think today we were focused and focus on making those easy layups. So